This is John for Global Traveler. My guest today is Jill Urchak. Let me properly introduce you, though, Jill. You are a Chicago radio personality, media personality, a noted White Sox fan. And the reason why I'm calling you, talking to you today, is because you are doing a podcast. So how are you today, Jill?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well. I'm very happy to talk to you, very happy to talk podcasts with you.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of me.
Well, you're one of the first because as we've talked about right before we got on live, we've been Facebook friends for a while, and I've been following you and your podcast. On a Quest is your podcast.
Hmm.
I've been following it. I've been listening all along, and when I decided to write this story for Global Traveler on podcast, because we're all kind of stuck inside with a lot of time on our hands these days, yours was one of the first ones I thought of.
Oh, that's sweet.
So tell us a little bit about On a Quest.
Okay. I have always been interested in mysteries and things of the unknown, and whether it be supernatural, UFOs, just things, that people don't regularly talk about. And when podcasting became pretty much mainstream, I thought, you know what, I really need to talk about this because I think a lot of people are besides me. I believe in ghosts, spirits, all that stuff. And you can throw Bigfoot in there, but I've yet to find somebody who saw Bigfoot. I'm telling you, I'm searching because there's a show on there, Finding Bigfoot, too, on one of the channels. But I wanted to do a show on it because I think people like to step outside of daily reality, which is really a drag, especially lately. And, figure out, because I believe there's something out there, and I think most people do. I can't speak for all people. So I think something like this is something people would want to hear. I've had weird experiences just with I'd say hearing things, feeling things, seeing. I'm in no way psychic. Let's start there.
Okay.
But I thought if I'm hearing this, and I'm a logical person, I know other people are experiencing these things as well. So it's not just a one size fits all. It's pretty much anything unknown that I am so, so, so interested in. I'm addicted to all the TV shows. Travel Channel is my go-to Destination America because those are the ones that have all those types of things. But I'm just a curious person, and I like to talk to everyday people who experience strange things. Does that make me a weirdo? Probably.
Well, it may or may not, but it makes you a lot of fun. It makes you very interesting, at least.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you openly talk that you are a Catholic, as am I.
Yes.
How do you think your Catholicism, does your faith fit into any of this? Because some people might say there's conflicts.
Yeah.
I believe it's all good, but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm glad you said that because what I should have said and didn't was I won't do ghost hunting, Johnny. I won't. I won't do it. I won't actually go there and get spirit voices because I feel like that something could follow me home. So I like to talk to people that do it. I'm kind of a wimp. I want other people to get haunted, not me. I want to live through their pain.
But you're a smart wimp.
Being Catholic, I always like everything is like of light and good, but if there's good, there's evil. So when it comes to that stuff, I have to make sure that I don't do anything that I feel is against the Catholic faith because I am no, moral compass by any means, but I won't do anything that I feel like the church. That's why I won't do it. That's why I have the show. So it plays a huge part into every guest I have. I've been invited to go out on these things and I won't go.
Okay.
People have told me they've had things follow them home. And I know even with like tarot cards, I've done psychic parties and they're fun. And Ouija boards, we've all done it for fun until I really realized what I was doing. I won't do that anymore. So I just like to have the experiences through other people because people have had horror stories that I've spoken to that you can really invite some stuff in that you don't know. I'm not going down that path. Mm-mm.
Well, that's interesting. So you won't go down the path. You will talk to people about it.
Yeah.
Is that just to learn more about it?
Yes, it's to learn more. And because I believe in God so strongly, I think there's a yin and yang in life, a good and evil, kind of thing, karma, call it what you want. And because I believe in God, there has to be evil. So I try to rationalize how could there be evil when there's God and just the meanings of life, I guess, that people like to ponder every now and then. I think it's all related in my shows because everything kind of leads back to God. Or the universe, whatever you want to call it. I do try to stay on the straight and narrow with this because I really Like you said, the Catholic guilt. Like if I tell my mother some of these things, she's like, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Mom, I'm not doing them. Talking to people that do 'em." So I have turned down a lot of invites to do these things. You
No,
know,
but would you turn down an invite to talk about them?
no.
Is there something that you wouldn't talk about? I guess is my question.
Well, no. I've actually, a woman. She hasn't told me. Said that she's experienced somebody who was supposedly uh, possessed. That scares me. Devil stuff scares the crap out of me. Um, I would talk about it. This woman was a psychic and she was all about love and light. She didn't even really want to talk about it, but she said like this person smelled of like there's a smell to
Oh,
that. I mean, that's creepy as hell, right?
I agree.
I would talk about it as long as I knew it was 6 degrees of separation and it wasn't going to crawl in bed with me at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to talking about anything. Talking is safe, but I'm not doing. I'm not in it. I'm removed. I'm like
Well,
a
you,
once removed, whatever that means. I still don't know what that means, but go ahead.
but it makes sense. It all makes sense, right? So I know you've described yourself as a big wimp. So in well, the thing I really like about your podcast is I kind of feel that I'm on the same journey with you. Obviously, you're a professional. You ask the right questions, but you're asking the questions that I would like to know. So aside from obviously trying to have a successful podcast, am I wrong? It seems to me that you're doing this to try to learn just for your own edification.
Yes, I am because I'm just curious. You know, it's funny. I've always liked Halloween as a kid. I love fall, even though I feel like we're in a constant fall right now. I love fall. I love that time of the year when things kind of like get cooler outside. And I feel that to be very spiritual for me. The leaves, I find fall to be beautiful, the colors of the leaves and stuff like that. And that's the time I feel most reflective on stuff. I don't know. I think maybe I'm more in tune than some people who don't really think about this stuff. And I don't know why I do, to be honest with you. I just do. But I will not go against willingly something that I feel is against the Bible because I just don't need that in my life. So that's why I'm probably could be doing a lot more, but I won't.
No, that's interesting because you're doing what you want to do. You're taking control of it, and you're setting your own parameters.
True.
You got to respect that.
You
Is
get,
there
yeah.
any? I'm sorry.
Okay. No, no, you go.
Is there any upcoming? Have you got some in the can that you could give us a quick scoop on?
Well, there's another one I'm working on. I've interviewed this girl before. She's a ghost. She does it. She's a ghost hunter.
Okay.
And she was on one of her name is Erica. She was on one of the shows before because I
Right.
talked to her about I watched them all the parents. Some of them are just funny, goofy. Some of them are a huge learning experience. And seeing all those shows and her actually being on the front line and doing it, she's got a whole different perspective on it. Then I can't
Interesting.
say that, yeah, because I'm not in there doing it. So I kind of want to get back into that one. I also was supposed to, I'm not sure, talk to a lady that uh, goes to past lives. I don't know if that's
Oh,
anything you're interested in or
sure.
believe in.
Sure. I'm,
So,
I'm with you. Skeptical, but open-minded, I guess I would say.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But I want to learn that, which is one of the main reasons why I'm following along your podcast because I'm learning a ton.
here's the thing. You have to, like you said, you probably put it best. I guess I didn't realize it. I have to set the boundaries for me of what I feel is safe for me. I did talk to one guy who said something did follow him home. Nice, normal guy. He's a policeman, but he does this on the side. And he said he felt like a presence in his room when he got home that night. And I'm like, holy God, no way, no how. Which makes no sense because I watch every scary movie that's ever been out there. But again, I'm in my own house eating popcorn. So I'm
I
like,
no, I agree. When you said that, I honest to God, I got chills when you said that because
oh, it was creepy.
yeah, I'll watch any scary movie out there, but if like I went on the ghost tour in New Orleans and that freaked me out.
Sure. I mean, I went on the one in Chicago, the Hull House downtown. You know what, Johnny? Thank you. I have a picture of something I caught, and I didn't realize it was a ghost till I looked at the pictures 2 weeks later.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Wow.
that one had like evidence. I thought it was somebody staring at me, but I realized it was in the wall.
Wow.
So
So you actually have firsthand experience.
I have footage of that.
Wow.
There's, if you have any ideas, please, if you ever talk to anybody, let me know. Come on the show. I mean, you don't have to be like a professional ghost, whatever. I want to talk to everyday people who experience weird things. 'Cause I think people do, and they don't talk about it because they're afraid they're gonna, maybe get laughed at. And we're all, susceptible to this stuff, and I think we all have it on some level.
I couldn't agree more. Jill, I don't want to take up too much more of your
No,
time,
no, I
but
don't want to babble on. Thank you.
I do have to ask you a couple real
Yeah.
quick questions though on a different topic. But since we're a travel magazine, I have to ask you where once this quarantine thing is lifted, where would you most like to go?
You mean out of my area
Out
or
of your
just?
area. Yeah, like kind of a bucket list or a dream vacation, anything like that. I know you have a little son, so maybe it's
Yeah.
Disneyland. I don't know.
You know what? That I would do it for him, but that just sounds exhausting. Just the idea. I got to be honest. Just packing for Disneyland, it makes me want to stay home and go to bed. Where would I want? I would like to. My son's he's 5. He's into bugs now. I am terrified of even ants. I do not like anything that crawls at all, ever. And he's really into them. I don't want to discourage him. So since we've been cooped up, I just would love to go away. We usually go to Galena. I don't know if you've ever been to Galena,
Beautiful,
but it
beautiful
is
area.
beautiful. It's doesn't even feel like it's part of Illinois, honestly. Not that
Yeah.
Illinois can't be beautiful, but rustic. I would love to just be outdoors. I think the older I get, the more nature loving I become. And I see it through his eyes. So I would kind of like to go somewhere where it's kind of secluded and almost to get a cabin for like the weekend. I just think that would be awesome.
It
Just,
does sound like heaven right now.
it really does. Just to grill, you know,
Oh
just
yeah.
be outside. Listen to me. I'm afraid of bugs. I'll be inside eating. But yeah, something like that. I can vision it in my mind, something outdoors where my son DJ can have fun and I could safely stay away from the bugs inside a cabin. That sounds nice to me right now.
That does sound good. One
Mm.
last question, Joe. I know I started off by saying you are a noted Sox fan.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, who is your favorite player growing up, and who's some of your favorite player now?
I Okay, my favorite player growing up. Oh God, that's a tough one. I didn't jump on the Frank Thomas bandwagon just because everybody did.
Sure.
Um, but of course, that's a little later. Earlier in life, oh, I don't know. My dad was a huge Kittle fan. Does that count?
Sure.
Yeah, and because I didn't know any better, I would be like, "Oh yeah, he's my favorite." But I was a kid and I was learning. But as I got older, Canerco all the way. Not
Okay.
only because I wanted to have a date with him, but I just thought he was solid. I used to be a huge fan of Ray Durham, and I know nobody cared about Ray Durham back in the
I
day.
like Ray Durham. He's
I
solid.
liked him. It seemed like every time he got out there, like whether they were about to go into another inning, I don't know. He kind of seemed to save the day. I was a big Durham fan, but I was never really into the. I mean, Frank Thomas is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
whenever
Sure.
someone jumps on a bandwagon, I jump off. So
Okay.
Panermo and AJ present. I'm just so glad AJ was on our side because if he wasn't, I would hate him. He's the kind of guy you want to be on your side or it's not good.
Once again, I have to agree with you, Jill.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have baseball again one of these years.
Hopefully we will. But until then, we have your podcast to keep us entertained. So
You're Thank you.
before I let you go, could you just tell everybody where they can find you or your podcast? Give yourself a big plug here.
Oh, okay. Well, the podcast is called On a Quest Paranormal, and you can pretty much find that anywhere. Apple, iTunes, Google. Right now it's on anchor.fm. Pretty much all the places that have podcasts, you will find it. On a Quest Paranormal. Um, so just the staples of where you would Spotify, they're on those. So you will find it there on any of the basic ones. And again, it's just me talking, Johnny, because you've listened. It's nothing magical where you
No.
have to, it's just me talking to somebody and being me and being real. And if you've experienced anything strange, lights in the sky, I want to know about it. I want to know about it. I would love to talk to you about it. You can find me on Facebook for sure. You can find me on Twitter, and there's two of them. I'll just give you one. On A Quest. That's the paranormal site if you want to find me at On A Quest Pod. ONAQUESTPOD, On A Quest Pod. And you could just
that's on Twitter?
Yeah, that's on Twitter. I'm sorry.
Okay. No.
You just find me there. If you've got something, send me a message. I will hook you up. I will put you on. Although I do have to admit, one guy reached out to me and he seemed a little out there even for me. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I think, yeah, that one wasn't going to happen. I felt like he was going to kill me in my sleep. But generally, if you've got...
Well, we don't want that.
No, I'd like to live a little longer.
Yeah, so, you gotta see the Sox. They're going to have a good year if this ever gets going. So you got to be around for that.
Exactly. But yeah, you can find me there. Any social media is very easy to find me. Just look up, Jill Urchak, URCHAK.
Well, Jill Urchak at On A Quest Paranormal Podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. It's been really a pleasure talking to you. As I've said before, I will say it now on air. Been a big fan of yours for a long time, and it's been really a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's very sweet of you. Be healthy. Stay safe, okay?
You too, and thank you for the podcast.
No problem. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jill.